And welcome back to the Nick and Jeff show. We got Nick, woohoo, and me, Jeff. Nick, what are you buying?
I'm buying Resident Evil 4 again. For the sixth time.
We have bought Resident Evil 4 a lot of times, but this time it's extra special. And me and Nick, we're going to talk about the entire experience of Resident Evil 4 2023 version, what it's like to play, how awesome it is, full spoiler cast mode. There's nothing to spoil. It's the same game as 19 years ago. I don't know how many years ago, but
Yep.
goddamn, Nick, it is so good.
It's so good. We've both been so excited to talk about this.
Tell me about the experience, the build up to release. How are you feeling about it all?
I think maybe I watched one trailer at some point, and I think I got halfway through it and was like, "It's fine. I don't even need to see this. I'm gonna buy it. Of course, it's Resident Evil 4. Of course, I'm gonna, they've remade it. I hope." I remember us both having conversations, being like, "Man, I hope it's good. I hope they don't shit the bed on this one because it's one of our favorite games. It's just awesome." And so I think we were a little bit like, hopefully it's still good. And I think you had your doubts too, didn't you? Well, doubts.
Yeah, I certainly had my doubts, and I'm like, I just rebought Resident Evil 4 on Switch for the full price when it came out. If I waited 2 months, it would have been 68% off or something.
Yeah.
But I think I paid $40 Australian again for Resident Evil 4, and I didn't mind because I, played it so many times on all the other consoles, and I wanted to play it again on Switch, and it was still awesome.
Yeah.
And there's all this talk about, I think, is it the Oculus Quest Resident Evil 4 VR experience or whatever?
Yep.
And I'm just like, Resident Evil 4 is still an awesome game, totally playable, unlike RE2 and RE3, which I think have aged, quite a lot.
The originals,
still awesome.
Yeah.
But man, Nick, so wrong.
Yeah, well, I mean,
so good.
I want to. I mean, you've kind of got it in your. Yeah, I think it's kind of like the first thing on your topic list. So you've written as the next thing, is any room even the same? So I want to talk about our first playthrough and the first time going through, because we knew the game like the back of our hand. We still we knew all the dialogue, we knew all the lines, we knew all the jokes, we knew all the secrets, where all the treasures were, and beat by beat, scene for scene, word for word, we knew this game. And so coming into Resident Evil 2023, I've learned very, very quickly that I do not know this game, the 2023. I do not know the 2023 version. So walk me through. Let's say the first. We'll go through the village section. So the entire village section.
Yeah.
What was it like playing that for you the first time again?
It was because we've played so much. The controls for me straight away were they weren't bad. It's just I wasn't used to it, and I'm like, this is not how I'm attuned to everything. I'm used to that stop, pop, and lock, right? And getting used to the new quick turn and the aiming movements, it took a little while to adjust, especially in that village section where it's so damn, it's full on. You're full on getting attacked. And then I think for us, when we both started on hardcore mode, which says you should play this if you've played the original before, it just totally subverts all your expectations when you're like, I'm going to shoot him in the leg. I'm going to shoot him in the head. That didn't do anything.
It's not working!
You got to do it twice.
Yeah.
And then I think the only thing in the village that I felt was genuinely the same was the layout of the main village part, right?
Yes, you have the village section.
Except on your first playthrough, you climb the little bell tower thing, and the floor collapses, because of course they want you to think, that old trick, that ain't gonna work this time.
Yeah.
And then every time you revisit the main village bit, it is the bell tower falls down entirely this time. It totally changes. But I still think not a single area was even close to being the same.
Yes,
right?
yes.
Every single area was different. I remember this themed area from the original, but it is different now.
Mm-hmm.
It is different.
I feel like maybe that should be the first, like, if we got, I don't know, I'm sure if we, I mean, I have to go back and watch the trailers now, but I feel like that should be the first thing that starts the trailer. Like, forget everything you knew about Resident Evil 4, because now we have Resident Evil 4, and it's just like, because have you watched the girlfriend review of it?
I think I have already, actually. Like, we've just reviewed Resident Evil 4 again, and again, and now it's the third time.
Yeah. So, like, shout out to girlfriend reviews, because they are just so good and so funny. And the experience that she talks about with her boyfriend having with this game is the same experience that I feel like I had. Like, even from the very first Ganado you come across, the very first...
Yeah, I died.
Yeah, you died in the first... Yeah, and that's like...
yeah, because I think I wanted to dodge or use a knife. Oh, I don't know. I can't remember what I did the first time, but, like, I definitely died, like, straight away.
Yeah. And, like,
which made me happy.
Even just, like, it's still the same, but it's not. Like, when Leon walks in, he's, like, stoking the fire, and he's like, hey, you seen this girl? And he's like, Kikanasen, Lorigato cabron. And then goes to swing at the axe with you, and he walks in, and you're like, oh, there's no guy. Oh, okay. Oh, we're going downstairs. Okay. And then you hear him wander down the stairs. And, okay. I'll shoot him in the head and kick him. What the hell? Oh, God.
No, yeah, because straight away he's got the tilted head, doesn't he?
Yeah. And I just remember, like, backing up and being like, oh, God! Ah! And then the game made me straight away, I'm, like, panic shooting just the first enemy. Oh, God! And he hit me twice, I think, and I was like, I have no bullets left. And he hit me twice. Maybe I should not have chosen professional mode. But one of the first things I did, actually, I turned the quick turn off. You said did you keep it, you still have it on?
The quick turn? Yes. Yeah. Why would you turn it off?
I did it when I first played, like, the first hour. I kept doing it a few times, kind of by accident, and I didn't like it, so I completely turned it off. I haven't played with it ever since.
Wow, no, you're missing out. You'll probably want it for Mercenaries. Just saying.
Oh, God. But yeah, you're right. Like, that village section, the first sort of two village sections are well, even the second little bit's a bit different too. But
no, the second one's still different.
Yeah,
if you're talking about the barnyards.
Yeah, the barnyard. Yeah, I guess it's the same until you get to the end there. Yeah. But man, just like the layout makes, I think, a lot more sense logistically if it was a real village and a real place. The way, I guess, it's all sort of laid out together as opposed to the other one. But yeah, I died. I think I told you I died 7 or 8 times, maybe even more, in that first village section. And that was the section that we used to be so good at this game. We used to be so good we'd just play through the game with a knife and just kill everything. You know what I mean? And now I'm playing a professional. Like, I could barely even survive, let alone dominate the game the way we used to. And so I really, like, that was my first that was my first and only hurdle. And you hadn't started the game at that point, and I was like, no, do that. That was my way of getting my bearings. Like, beat the village on professional. Once you can get through that, you can sort of work out what you're doing a little bit more, and then go from there.
Hardcore mode, yes.
Yeah, hardcore mode. Sorry, hardcore mode. And yeah, I just, it's even better than the original. It's even better.
Every single aspect is better. And, like, one of the little things I thought was interesting, Nick, like, even collecting treasures is better, right?
Yeah.
Like, I think that one of the very first treasures is, like, if you knock down something and it falls into, like, a little well and becomes a dirty pendant. Like, they even change that up on you the very first time.
Yep.
But, like, even the new combining the treasure system with the jewels, like, it's actually really, like, it's really fun
and really satisfying. Really satisfying. Because, like, back in the original, I feel like you had you collected. If you missed it, then you couldn't complete that piece the way it was supposed to be completed. Like, you had to collect everything and collect it properly. Whereas this one, you just collect the 6 different types of gems, and then you can put them in however you want. But if you're smart about it and you know what you're doing, you can get the most money out of each treasure.
Yes, and there's a little trophy for getting maximum value. I think $100,000.
Yeah,
$100,000 sale
for the crown. Yeah, the five of a kind. 5 different ones.
So, Nick, like, there is, every sort of room, like, similar, but it is different. But what they went to town on is all these little extra mini missions that either you just sort of figure out on yourself or the merchant would give you, right? Like, the first playthrough, I was, like, obsessed trying to get every single one of those little mini missions done. Like even if it was just those stupid little blue medallions.
Yeah.
But they amped it up with like extra like mini bosses, I would say as well. Which I thought was really cool.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I completely forgot about that until now. Because the last 3 or 2 playthroughs I've done, I haven't gone to do those mini bosses. I guess I should probably mention that. At this point, I've done 4 playthroughs, and I will be starting another one tomorrow after I finish Mercenaries. Sort of going back to it with us knowing each thing and collecting all the treasures. It's not just that too. When we watch the cutscenes, there's specific lines that I think we've looked out for the entire game. Like when he first does the village, and the bell starts ringing, and I'm sitting there watching. I'm like, don't you not? If you don't say the line, this game is a 0 out of 10. Say the line, Leon. Say the line.
I think the demo came out a couple days before the actual game, and it was of the village bit, and then so I kind of knew that where's everyone going? Bingo. Like I knew that line was in it, but there's so many other cutscenes where you're like, Luis, like you got gum, and he's like, oh no, do you have a smoke?
Yeah,
or whatever. I think that's what he said. Do you have a smoke? Yeah. And I'm like, I'm waiting for Leon to say you got gum, but he's like, those things will kill you, right? Like there's so many lines where they're like, let's just tweak the dialogue a little bit, right? And they like subvert your expectations again, and then when they do say the same line, like the same quote, I'm like, it feels so good.
But that's the thing. The line, I think they had to change some things because they were like, they want to walk the line of like, we don't want it to be too cheesy, but we want it to still be like real, but we still want it to be a little bit cheesy. So I think I think that was a little bit of a misstep for me because that's the only misstep I think. I was like, either you lean into it and you have those corny lines the same, or you just completely rewrite new stuff. But the lines that are missing are all trophies. I'm not sure if you've noticed that, but
I saw that.
Yeah.
I definitely noticed that.
Saddler, you're small time, and
even the final trophies like doing overtime or something.
Yeah, Leon, how about we do some overtime? And it's just like, I didn't like that line wasn't in there, but I guess I understand, they don't want to over-sexualize Ashley the way they did. You can't look up her skirt anymore.
Speaking of Ashley, right, she loves Leon and throws all this subtle, like, shade at Leon. Like, I think you look rather dashing in a knight's uniform. Maybe I could be a CIA agent too, and like we can fight bad guys and save the world, save America. And Leon's just like,
I've got a mission to do.
Oh yes, that's nice. And then even at the end, instead of the overtime, it's like, maybe I could ask my dad to put you on my detail. And Leon's like, you don't need me.
Yeah.
Maybe Leon's gay.
Maybe he is.
He's so oblivious to it all.
I don't know. I liked Ashley a lot better in this one, except I liked Ashley a lot better in this one until my professional playthrough. She got in the way and died and was captured so many times in my professional playthrough. It drove me insane. It was the only time.
Apparently, what the secret is, you'd play one of the other modes to get the knight armor to give to Ashley, and you can use that any time. Like, doesn't matter what style of playthrough. It's a costume. And then that way
they can't pick her up.
Professional S++ run or whatever without her getting in the way.
Oh, right. Oh, she died. That's the thing. On every other playthrough, the other 3 playthroughs, she died maybe twice. Professional, she died probably a dozen times. And I'm just like, by the time I was like, Ashley, you freaking idiot. Get out of the way. But,
Nick, your first playthrough.
Yes.
Tell me about the weapons, right? What weapons did you go with the first time?
Anytime a new weapon became available, I used that. Because that's one of the first things I mentioned. They're like, hey, if you sell a gun, I'll give you the money back for it, so you have no loss. There's no consequences. Like, it's not like you're selling it at a loss and you lose half your money or anything like that. Like, whatever you spend on that weapon, you get that money back. And so anytime a new weapon became available, I switched from like the main handgun to the Punisher to the Matilda to the other one and then to the Red 9, and then I think I stuck with that. But same thing with the snipers. I went from and the TMP to the LE5, and then the shotgun to the other shotgun, then to the striker, and the broken butterfly to the Killer 7. And so anytime a new one
went with the Killer 7.
Yeah, anytime
that's the only weapon I haven't shot. Besides like the Chicago typewriter and Infinite Rocket Launcher, I think.
Yeah. Okay. So anytime a new one became available, that's what I used. What about you?
Well, because I played the game so much, I'm like, I don't want to do the Red 9. And I was very happy to discover that it was a like hidden secret. Not a hidden secret, but like a... you don't buy it, you find it.
It was on the boat or something. Yeah.
It was on the boat, correct. Yeah, but I think I stuck with the Blacktail. Like,
the Blacktail.
It just seemed like so good. Though I really love the laser sight from the starting pistol.
Yeah.
And the Punisher, I feel like there's just not enough use cases for it, right? Like some wooden shields, and every so often, enemies will line up together. But like you're just better off using your shotgun like every time. But I'm like you. I think I upgraded the guns every single time you could. I totally skipped the TMP, and even the later on the
LE5.
The LE5. I just don't find them useful. Right. I'm all about that precision, like one headshot or two headshots.
Yeah.
Do the melee, the knife, and the TMP is just always so sort of inaccurate that I never really wanted to gravitate to using it.
Yeah, I understand that.
You'd unload, and then it would be just like, oh, you're out of ammo.
Yeah. Actually, I'll admit to you, that's a challenge that I haven't done yet. The only gun that I haven't used is the mine shooting, the darts one, whatever that is. Is the mine dart?
I think there's a small challenge to kill like 3 or 4 enemies.
Yeah, and that's one I haven't done, yeah. But yeah, and that was a gun that I loved in the original, especially once you upgraded it to the point that you shot it and it just magnetized itself towards... And
I forgot about that.
Yeah, remember? And like it'd explode, and so you just shoot and it'd gravitate towards them and then attach and...
I think at the start, the mine thrower, like when you got it, like it just felt really slow and clunky. Like it was all about conserving ammo. Yeah, it just didn't feel like one shot killed an enemy, like at least on hardcore. And then I could be wrong. I felt like you didn't get the mine attachment straight away. Like they came a little bit later on.
Yeah, that's right.
And then I'd already given up by that point because I thought they're like, should it be here? But it's not. But yeah, missed opportunity. The regular guns just always felt so good. Nick, I want to skip ahead of part of one of my things here, right?
Of course, yep.
The guns feel amazing and they sound amazing, and the DualSense PS5 controller, right? Like, okay, I know a lot of guns have the triggers, right?
Yep.
The haptic triggers. I don't know if you've turned that on or off
it's on.
Or what.
Yep, it's on.
But that's good, cool. It's the sound effect when you're like got one ammo left or 0 ammo left, and it clicks and it vibrates on the controller and makes a special sound as well.
Yep.
I'm like, it's just like, wow, like cool, like without even looking at the game, even though you're playing it, like you know you're out of ammo.
Yeah,
right?
there's something in your brain that clicks and goes, oh, I'm out of ammo. And reload. Yeah, I agree. It's not, I know, anytime we do a spoiler cast talking about a PS5 game, it's something I think you bring up a lot. It's something that I appreciate, but I think you're in love with it a lot more than I am. I'm just like, oh, that's cool. Well, that's neat.
And a lot of like the cutscenes, like I know the Wii remote had the sound in it too, right? But like it's just used sparingly enough that it's really like effective. And I know a lot of the cutscenes when like, Saddler's in my head or whatever, is like hallucinations or whatever, or Hunnigan's initial transmission comes through the controller.
Yep.
Like it feels really good.
Actually, you know what? I want to talk about that. Let's talk about that because I think if you've probably written it in there somewhere. We talked a little bit about Ashley, but I want to talk about all the characters. So you perked up a little bit when I said I really liked Ashley this time around. So I'm guessing you feel the same way?
Yeah, Ashley, amazing. And I really appreciate, like, we talk about, like, Last of Us or whatever and God of War and, like, the constant talking between characters, right?
Yep.
Which is fine. But here it's, like, just a little bit. And I'm like, it's just enough. And, like, just enough. That little, just that little positive feedback to Ashley, or, like, Ashley giving, like, oh, good work, Leon. Like,
yeah.
Like, you feel good. And it's not, like, overbearing, constantly talking about everything, and just I really love when you get like the headshots and like oh fuck, whoa, like they're all excited about it.
Yep.
Or I think Ashley says holy sh.
So what about Lewis? What do you think of Lewis this time around?
Lewis, I'm glad they fleshed his character out even more. Like, he had a lot more lines, even if it wasn't a lot. It felt more effective, and especially with him having like the lab at the end, even though it doesn't really quite make sense that he got all the way from the island to the castle to the the village, but whatever. I love that. I love how they changed his story up a little bit as well.
Yeah, and
they still made him the ladies' man. He's like, I'm dying. It's gonna be a loss for all the women in the world. Like,
I agree.
Just cheesy enough.
Really I agree. I feel like he wasn't.
What about Ada and the villains, Nick?
I feel like Lewis wasn't. I feel like he wasn't as physically attractive or charming. I think if they'd done like I don't know. I don't think he. I don't know, but it's. I mean, I don't know, but I felt like his lines weren't as smooth as what they used to be. Like, you're a long way from home, cowboy. And it's like, oh, do you got to smoke? It didn't. I don't know. To me, I don't know. It could just be one of those things because I liked Ashley's voice. I know we'll get to Ada. You weren't a big fan of Ada. I've got no beef with with Ada's voice. I thought she was fine. But I felt like Lewis's. I agree. I love that they fleshed out his character, but I wasn't that big a fan of his voice, or that they changed a lot of his famous lines. Or it tweaked him.
I gotta disagree. I like his updated look. I liked his voice acting. I liked his extra backstory. I thought they'd really improved that character. It was just like, his story was he got wanged by Saddler. In the original, right?
Yeah, fair. It made a lot more sense his death this time around with Krauser. Who else did you want to talk about? Ada, or who did you say?
Let's go Ada. Like the old. Shit.
Oh, the bitch in the red dress.
Oh, her leg just came off.
I saw that. Yes.
Nick, the old bitch in the red dress. What do you reckon? What do you think?
I
gotta find her leg now. I've lost it. These toys are very old.
So I like both Ada's pretty equally. I think you said something about you didn't like her voice,
I didn't like her voice at the start, right? I'm like, I miss the old Ada. I miss her old lines.
Yeah.
And then the second playthrough I just did, I'm like, you know what? She did a fine job.
Yeah.
Obviously before I don't think it was an Asian actress, but now it is. And not that to me it doesn't matter, but like I feel like she delivered a really sort of cold but still mysterious performance.
Yeah. Not as sexy a performance, but again a more real.
Definitely not as sex. I mean, yeah.
I want that leg to pop off right now, but
what do you think of her outfit?
Yeah, a more realistic performance. Again, like Ashley's, the outfit in the first one wasn't super practical, and same thing with Ada's. As much as it is sexy, not super practical for like a tactician warrior. Maybe if she's like doing some espionage.
Leon's wearing a big ass jacket, right? He's cold, and this bitch ain't cold.
Yeah, but I don't think we didn't get that line. Oh, if it isn't the bitch in the red dress, like I.
Maybe that was appropriate, because do Ada and Krauser interact in this one? Or is that only in separate ways?
Must be in only separate ways. Because obviously, she properly kills him in separate ways. And obviously when Leon and Krauser fight, she's the one who saves him from being stabbed instead of Lewis. So, I don't know if they interact in this one, but I hope maybe we'll see separate ways. What about Krauser? How'd you feel about Krauser?
Oh, let me just bust that one open too, because Nick, there's two others there.
Yeah,
Hunk, he has melted. If I touch him, all the paint or plastic melts onto my skin.
Gross.
But I thought they did a good job of sort of updating Krauser. Like, he's still a jerk, and then what original RE4 did. like, who the fuck's Krauser? What's all this backstory? It doesn't make sense. And they sort of like fleshed it out from, is it RE Dark Side Chronicles? I think it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
They actually fleshed all that story out, and you could, if you were a non-hardcore Resident Evil fan, you could sort of understand all about it.
I was waiting for you to do that.
Yeah, I liked him. I didn't. No beef there. I think it's fine. Updated, good.
Yeah, I think again, there's so much of I don't know, innocence inside me, or just like this purist inside me, that when they change the lines, I'm like, oh, it's wrong, and I think as someone who has like this weird OCD or something wrong in my head, that's like, you're doing it wrong. So I can't remember what he says in the new one. He doesn't call him comrade anymore. He calls him rookie, which
Rookie.
Whereas the
I
old
trained
one,
you well, rookie.
yeah. Whereas in the original, I was waiting for the line, "Been a long time, comrade." And I don't think he called him comrade once, just calls him rookie, which I guess story-wise makes a lot more sense. But I agree. I'm getting sidetracked again. I love how they fleshed out Krauser's character more. I love that they gave that backstory of like how they knew each other a little bit more. I would have actually liked even more information about that type of stuff, but you read the documents about them in the jungle and how they were just sort of sent on this mission and left for dead and all that sort of stuff. But I actually really like Krauser's death scene as well. I thought that was really, really, that was the point in the game where I'm just like, oh, wow. Well, when Krauser's laying there and he's like, you do what you have to do, Rookie, do what you were trained to do. And I thought,
let me just reenact.
Oh God. I thought.
Look at me with my toys.
I thought Leon would. When I'm watching, I'm like, he's not gonna stab. Oh, he is stabbing him. Oh, yeah. Wow, Leon. That's kind of. It was a little bit dark for Leon's character, I thought, but I also seemed very like Leon. He has a job to do, and he knows what has to be done, and he might not want to do it, but he's like. And just stabs him.
Well, I love how Krauser is like, I trained you well, Leon. Like,
yeah.
It says Leon instead of comrade or rookie or whatever. So,
yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah, I was very surprised the way he died.
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah.
Oh, he had 2 arms now.
Yeah, he had a shield.
What do you think?
Yeah. It's great. It's cool fighting him. I don't really. Yeah. The fight again, that fight was the same but different. I did miss the QuickTime fight. I almost kind of wish that like that initial one was like just that was kept in because that felt very pure. Whereas then the second fight where you actually kill him, I didn't mind that was changed at all. But I felt like the first one should have kind of stayed as a QuickTime event.
Yeah, it is odd that QuickTime's QuickTime events are totally gone, right? But they are still present with the whole L1 block and the circle evade as well. Like there's quite a lot of like evade prompts from boss fights and like the big swinging hammer characters as well.
Yeah.
So like it's kind of still there. It's just in a different way. But yeah, I do agree. Like having that cutscene QuickTime fight was just like an incredible experience like no other, back in 2005 or whatever it was.
Yeah. It's like very, very iconic. Like as far as like big memorable moments of the game go, like that was a very iconic, very, I think, in my mind, kind of an untouchable thing. Like I thought they had to do that the same. And I think I even sent you a video when I played it on easy. Like you watch the cutscene, I go up the elevator and then knife. Oh, he's dead. Oh, all right. Where like even on easy, I still would have enjoyed playing and watching out that cutscene because it felt cool because it wasn't the same every time. They changed the buttons like when you would read it. And I don't know.
Yeah, A and B or L and R.
Exactly. What else? Who else is there? What other characters we got? Saddler. Did you like Saddler?
Yeah, I felt like he is kind of like a bit more boring in this one. Like he sort of taunted you on the radio.
Yeah,
a hell of a lot. And this one, you don't really see him till the end.
Yeah,
well, I think you get hallucinations, but yeah, I just don't remember a lot of him in this particular one, but what I did notice is like he's got, the Salazar, Ramón Salazar's got a whole like legacy in the castle, right?
Yep.
Castellians or whatever.
Yep.
But Sadler's also got like gravestones of his family in like the like he's got a history too, and it's cool that it's like fleshed out, but like not quite enough. Like, is there a reason why he's a crazy Plagas man? Did his dad have the super Plagas as well? Like,
I don't know. I really don't. Yeah, I agree. I think Saddler was he was probably done the most dirty out of all the characters. Well, probably the only one that was done dirty out of all the characters, because I feel like he had no charm. There was nothing really like the original. He's like likable and like, he's got a bit of humor to him, and he's like evil, but he's still whereas this one was just kind of like, Yeah. Whereas I felt
I do.
Sorry, you go.
I miss his monologue on the final boss fight. It's like, "Oh, this only happens in American movies, Leon," and then turns into a giant monster. Like, it's such a cliche. Like that. But nothing like that really happened.
Yeah. Whereas I think the village chief was he was still good. I think he was great. And Ramón Salazar, I think Salazar was probably the best out of all of them. The way they fleshed him out a little bit more.
He was like, "Oh, Mr. Kennedy, oh fucking Mr. Kennedy," like he was sort of like. He was still a midget, but he wasn't like that was his only thing. Like, you're an annoying midget. Like, he had his own bit more personality. And a whole kick-ass castle to run. Yeah,
and like they change. I mean, I like that they still put some of his lines in, but then when I'm fighting him and he's like, "Oh, why don't you show me what a first class script looks like through your own actions?" I'm like, that's a weird line. All right, that's a weird line to put in the fight.
The boss fight dialogue was very strange, but it was like all to do with the play or whatever. And because I died quite a few times the first time on hardcore for that fight, I'm just like, I'm over all these lines.
But what other characters? Are there any other characters? I guess not really. Well, definitely, absolutely done dirty as well. Actually, I think maybe annoys me even more than Saddler is Hunnigan. I miss.
Yes,
I miss the
she wasn't.
I guess I get that they're trying to tell a story and they're trying to keep the pacing going and keep things flowing more so you don't break it up. But those conversations, those video calls back and forth, I feel like they were a big part of the game before, and now Hunnigan's just kind of like, she had no sort of heart to her, no sense of humor, and just like, I don't know. I think, like, I don't know. I was not a fan. And when her, what does Leon say at the end? He's like, "Buy you dinner when I get back." And then, story of my life.
Yeah. Hey, Hunnigan, no glasses. Like, there was no flirtation.
Yeah,
none.
None.
All for that one.
Yeah.
Yes. It definitely felt muted, or like, felt like nothing.
Yes. I was really still disappointed about Hunnigan, and I do miss those video calls where I'd get a call from Ramón or from Saddler. Or did he get? I don't know if he got calls from Krauser. Did he get calls from Krauser? I don't know. But
I don't think so.
Yeah, it just.
Nick, and how does what year is it? 2004?
Yeah.
2003 in the game?
Yeah.
Come on, like, how does everyone have video calling equipment?
Yeah, well, I would.
We struggle at the best of times to make this work.
That's right. Well, yeah, I mean, you think about it. So again, another thing, we know the start, like 1998. I'll never forget it. It was the year when those grisly murders occurred in the Arklay Mountains. Soon after, and I could do the whole thing. But then that
was all changed.
Yeah, and then the last thing he says is, 6 years have passed since that horrendous incident. So it's 2004. It was 1998, 6 years later, 2004.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, but oh god, I miss. He still has an intro monologue, but it's like 1998. Those opening lyrics, those opening lines. I'll never forget them. And it's anyway, so we've still got quite a bit to talk about. We reckon we take a quick break and come back.
Yeah, you read my mind. Power sponsor break.
Sponsor break by...
This episode brought to you by Resident Evil 4.
I really wanted to eat Maltesers for this podcast, but apparently they're too crunchy. So I will take you out with a delicious Maltesers crunch.
Once you pop, you can't stop.
See you in a sec.
Where's everyone going? Bingo?
Damn, that was a delicious Malteser. I'm going to wash it down with this up and go.
Nick, you know, we're back talking about Resident Evil. Like, how cool was the new kill animation where it, like, you know, doesn't chop off his head? That's too predictable, too easy. Like, you know, straight through the chest and go.
Like, yeah.
That felt so visceral. Like, that was
some of them.
really
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah. You want to talk about? I mean, I think my most memorable death animation, like I say most memorable, and I'm trying to recall it now. Is it the village chief? I think he grabbed me at one point and just like, or maybe it was just one of the regulars, but like I'm pinned on the ground and like poked my eyes out.
Poked your eyes out?
Like, I'm watching.
Yeah,
that
that's a regular death.
That was the only one I was watching that I was just like, oh, that looks so painful. Yeah. Oh god.
There's definitely a number of unique ones, especially for some of the Plagas and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've forgotten most of them. I feel like I want to watch like a all death animations thing.
Yeah,
'Cause there's still quite a lot.
Yeah.
Nick,
We
the
should probably watch
animations
it.
in this game are like incredible. But what I find really fascinating, like the Resident Evil engine, the RE engine, which stands for Reach for the Moon, apparently. The RE engine is just so incredible, and like Capcom is just so good at like grotesque tentacle monster things, right? Like they look so good.
Yeah. Well, I loved it. Like when I noticed, at one point I'm using the shotgun upgrade, and like you blow someone at close range, and then like I'm looking at the corpse. I'm like, oh, there's like tentacles coming out the bottom, and
Yes,
and they're like moving, and like there's like 4 bodies split in half on the ground here, and they're all like animated with their own little innards moving, like their little tentacles moving. And I'm like, damn.
Yeah. Oh, Nick, because I got the unlimited hand cannon, which I told you at the start. I was like, when I got it, I'm like, this is boring. Like, man, it is so fun because body parts fly off everywhere all the time, right? And you see all little tentacle things. And what I didn't realize in the first playthrough a lot, on my second playthrough, you can blow off an enemy's arm and they'll still come and attack you.
Yeah, they still keep coming. They are
Like, not everyone, but like a lot of them still do.
Yeah, they are relentless, and I guess that's probably one of the next things on your topic list. Hardcore mode really is hardcore. How many times do you reckon you died? Like ballpark figure, how many times do you reckon you died on your first playthrough?
I don't know, but I'm going to say at least probably over 50 to 100 without a doubt. Easy.
Yeah,
right?
50,
I died a lot.
Yeah, I reckon about 50 as well.
Some of the boss fights, Salazar, I think took me quite a fair few tries, or maybe I was doing something wrong. I didn't quite realize what to do.
Yeah,
I died a lot there.
Was it too hard?
Garradors.
Oh, yeah.
No,
Was it too hard? Did I give you bad advice to play on hardcore?
No, I think it was extremely challenging and it was good, right?
Yeah, I think
Like,
standard would have been too easy.
If it was standard, I would have plowed through it and it wouldn't have been a challenge. And it's really weird being a gamer, right? Like, can't be too hard to be too frustrating, but it can't be too easy, otherwise you're bored, right? Like,
Exactly.
Was really it was a really perfect challenge and like well done for Capcom for like making that balance perfect. Nick, and what I've forgotten and re-realized, right? Like, we were always running out of ammo. Well, I think like I've got 1 shotgun shell left. I've got no rifle ammo left. Like, I've got pistol. Like, you'll always have pistol ammo no matter what you do, no matter what playthrough you do.
Yeah,
because the game is designed, at least on the higher difficulties, is to bleed you of all your ammo and then just drip feed you just enough to get through. So if you use all your pistol ammo, the next enemy you slash will give you pistol ammo, guaranteed, right?
Yep.
But it's just that drip feed of just like, oh man, I'm just making this. Like, I'm barely scraping by.
Yes.
And that's what makes it feel so damn good.
I agree. I think, that first playthrough, I think I told you, like, no, do it. Once you get past the initial village section, it's good. It's smooth sailing. And I sailed so smooth through the village section until I got to the castle, and then you're right. I felt like I was just bleeding. I was bled of ammo, and I was just getting by with my 2 or 3 shotgun shells and my 2 or 3 rifle bullets. and then my 20 or 30 handgun shots, and just occasionally getting more handgun ammo, and then bleeding to nothing. I'm like, man, hopefully I haven't oversold this to Jeffrey and he gets stuck, because I was still having fun. It was still very thrilling, but there was still a part of my brain going like, man, we're running low on funds here and ammo and everything.
And your knife, like the knife breaks now, breaks a lot now, right? Or you get the little knives, and like, I guess because I have my second playthrough, I had the unlimited knife the whole way through, and then I didn't even really need the knife because I was just,
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
But the knife was like so essential, and like, I always upgraded my knife before everything else.
Yes, absolutely.
What about you?
Yeah, absolutely the same. That's the next thing on the topic list here was we got the knives. Well. Yeah, initially when I first, I don't know, killed my first 4 or 5 villagers, and I'm like, my knife has health. My knife has health. My knife has strength. This game is trash. 0 out of 10. And then, and then once I saw the merchant a few times and repaired it and learnt about the parrying, I'm like, oh. And once the first few times you parry intentionally, you're like, oh, that felt good. And then you do it more and more and more, like, yeah, bring it on. And that, like, to the point that now, like back in the day when we played the game, we used to, I think, abuse the animation. So the enemy would be walking towards us, we'd run forward, then run back, and then because when you run towards them, once you reach a certain point, they go, and they swing their axe. And now I'll just run forward until they go to swing, then I'll parry, and then shoot them. So now it doesn't look as silly anymore. Me going, just kidding. I just run up and be like, come on, swing, ping, and like then pop them off. It's so good.
Well, the conservative gamer inside of me, right? Like, I don't want to use my things. There'd be like, yes, I would parry regular enemies quite frequently, right? Yes. But like when the chainsaw ladies came, or the big Las Plagas that would like eat your whole head, like the L1 prompt would be on the screen. I'm like, no, I don't want to use my knife. Like, I'll shoot you, or like I don't want to waste my knife. I don't want it to break.
Yeah.
But like, you had to, otherwise you would die instantly, right?
Yeah.
But I'm like, no, I'd rather die than use my disposable knife.
I had that same mentality. I absolutely had that same mentality. But at the end of the 4 playthroughs, God, I love the new knife system, and I love that. I back in the day, the whole running forward and back and then shooting. Nope, I this new system of parrying, and it feels good and it's fun.
Feels modern.
It does. It feels modern, and it feels just so refreshing. Like probably one of the most positive things I think I can say about like the new one.
I was thinking the other day how in the last podcast, whatever that was, in Metroid Prime, you're like, I wish Samus had a melee, right, or a counter.
Yeah.
And in the Metroid Dread, she has a counter, right? Yeah. And just that. And it's the same. This is the same principle. Like just that split window of opportunity to reflect, or bounce back or dodge or whatever. It feels really good as a gamer.
Yeah, I agree.
Right? It's that whole risk versus reward thing, and like when you get good, the payoff is just like ching 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 ching. Like it's so. Yeah,
I agree.
So
and Resident
awesome.
Resident Evil's no exception to that either. Something about initially having this tiny little. The window seems so small for parrying, but then by the time you beat the game a few times, the window is like, I got plenty of time. Parry, and it feels great. Now I'm not. If you want to stick on knives, it's fine. But I was thinking, you mentioned on here bosses. I don't know if you want to talk about some of the bosses
bosses,
and some of the side mini bosses, the new ones. Yeah.
Yeah, I actually think the side mini bosses are probably even more memorable for me.
Yes.
But like the Del Lago fight, I think was. Like that's the big first. Well, I guess the chainsaw guy. Nah, he's not really a boss.
He is at the start. I think he is. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a mini boss.
The lake, cool. The lake boss fight, Del Lago.
Yeah.
Same as the original to me. I felt like.
Yeah.
The graphics are a lot nicer.
Yeah.
I like the castle in the background.
Yeah.
And then
El Gigante.
He was pretty much like he was pretty much the same to me. I think the same principle applied. Shoot him in the face, and then the Plagas will appear, and then Knife.
Knife.
So,
But-
what do you think of those two?
I agree. Same. I think you're right. I think the new mini bosses maybe stuck in my brain a little bit more. Ramon was definitely a lot. He was way different comparatively to.
Well, he was 100% different.
Yeah, he was
not the same in any way.
Completely different. And Saddler felt different, but still kind of the same, I guess. Like still, yeah, same principles. He was more different than I think Gigante and the lake monster. But yeah, like you still knew what you knew what you were doing. Whereas I felt like when I started fighting Ramon, I'm like, oh, I have no memory of this place. You know what I mean? Like, but I enjoyed, the first, you pick up the quest and you're like, oh, there's a monster to slay. Oh hell yeah! And then
I'm going after this.
And then I ran to the village chief's house. I'm like, where is it? I'm not sure where it is. Maybe I'll go outside and look. And I go outside and he's at the gate. You follow him back to the village and kill the wolf. And I thought that was really cool. And then in the castle, going into Ashley's section and fighting the Gold Knight.
How good was the foreshadowing of Ashley's section? Where you do see that Gold Knight, you're like, oh, that's different than all the others.
Yeah.
But then you don't see it, and then you get the little mission afterwards. You're like, aha.
And then
that was very satisfying.
And then the regenerator, the other regenerator, which just had like a million parasites in him. Yeah,
and it's very fun.
Yeah, it was very fun. Yeah. But is there any others other than those ones? I guess. What else
I don't think so. Well, there is a missing boss fight. It should keep you busy.
Oh yeah.
And Veridgo.
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
Right hand.
Don't you fight him in the sewers? That's the sewer fight.
Yeah, sort of like this sort of cave crate, freighter crate. What are the freighter shipping containers area thing?
Yes.
I think it's so that boss fight is absolutely missing, and it's fine. I'm not mad that it's missing.
Yeah.
I'm just like, yeah, okay. Me as someone who's played this game, 17 times. Oh, that's definitely missing.
Yeah, and there are some sections that when I'm playing the game, I'm like, oh great, I know what's next, and it wasn't there. I'm like, oh thank God, I hate that section. Like when Leon goes down into the sewer and there's all the invisible ones everywhere. I mean, he does go down but that section is completely changed and completely different. And that's one section that I'm like, oh man, I'm glad they scrapped that.
The castle is totally different.
Totally
right?
Different.
I don't think there's nothing sort of even similar layout or way or paths forward. It's totally changed. And that whole new section, absolutely new section. Everything's new, but with the giant and the cannons on the outer rim,
yeah.
That's totally new.
Or the room with the new bugs. I guess the same bugs, but it's laid out different with the two things, the two levers you got to pull to get out through there.
I think I learned the hard way. The bugs are unlimited; they don't stop.
They don't stop. Oh god, yeah, they don't stop. Especially, I'm professional. I'm just like, oh, there's so many. Oh boy, there's just so many things about this game.
We haven't even talked about Glorious Los Plagas.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, those guys.
Those guys were awesome because they would trigger Las Plagas coming out of regular enemies, and they'd also give you oh my head, and you'll be stuck.
Oh
about to get hit by an enemy.
How awful was that? You see them walking towards you, and he's like, "Glorious Las Plagas," and Leon's like, "Oh," and you're like, "Get out of the way, Leon! Run!" I agree. Yeah, he's almost like another, I guess, chainsaw mini boss, equal level thing as well. He, completely forgot about him.
And even the Glorious Los Plagas, Glorious Los Plagas, Glorious Los Plagas, it put the fear totally back into you as well. It was really.
I think that was one
really
of my most. Done. I think that was one of my most frustrated rooms in the game, where you're in the castle and you run across. You go across the bridge to grab. I think it's
and the bridge goes down.
And it goes down, and you got to go
the shortcut.
Where's the shortcut?
Well, you can throw a mine, or on the second playthrough, I just threw a grenade.
Oh yeah,
just before the cutscene triggered.
Yeah,
and then he doesn't have time to pull the thing to make the bridge go down, so you just skip the whole section.
Oh, did not know you could do that.
And but you know, the gamer in me, I'm like, I've got to kill every enemy in the room anyway.
Yeah. Did not know that. That's very cool. Yeah.
So yes,
Well,
there's a professional run shortcut.
yeah, I'll remember that. I will remember that.
What do you think of the Veridgo, the right hand?
Yeah, cool.
So it was with nitrogen.
Yeah, really cool. Again, it was another fight that was similar, but different, like the same but different. And yeah, I still really enjoyed that. I had no problem with that. It was definitely more challenging. I think unless he was hit with the what's the cold stuff?
Nitrogen.
Unless he was hit with the nitrogen, you could only shoot him in the head. I think you can only shoot his face. I think the rest of his body is like armored.
What's that? That's what I discovered just before, like, on my latest playthrough, because one of the challenges is to kill him without nitrogen.
Yes, and I saw you messaged
on standard mode.
Yeah, and you messaged me, and I'm like,
even with my hand cannon, like he didn't go down.
Yeah, I that's the thing, because I did that challenge on easy, when I was doing my handgun run, but I made a save there, and then I pulled out my shotgun out of the inventory, and I was like, well, I made a save, so I ran through, and I shotgunned the crap out of him. It took forever to kill him, even on easy. I'm like, damn, this guy just, without the nitrous, he just won't die.
Even with the rocket launcher, Nick, he didn't die.
Really? Oh wow.
He took the rocket launcher and a couple extra headshots with the Magnum.
Yeah, wow.
To die.
Oh wow.
I'm sure if you froze him and rocket launched him, he'd die straight away.
Probably. Let's see. What else do you have on your list? What else would you like to? There's
the trophy. I got the trophy requirements, Nick, and like playthrough 2. Like.
No, I got a better one.
Yeah. What?
The shooting gallery.
Go.
It's another.
Ah.
It's like in the middle of your list, but yeah.
Oh my god. I think I've got the list hidden, so I can't see.
Yeah, right.
Oh my god, the shooting gallery is so satisfying.
Yes.
And having your partners there, having Lewis and Ashley there. Oh, way to go, Leon. And even Lewis.
Way to go, way to go, Leon.
Way to go, Leon. Whoa, you really got him. Like Dan, like that's so reassuring, and having the merchant also like, you're an artist, mate. Like,
yeah. I really appreciate
it. Was so hard. It was so hard.
I really appreciate that you don't have to get, because in the other one, if you wanted maximum points, you had to get headshots. Whereas, I mean, obviously, then later on in this one, they got their heads popping out of barrels, so you only can shoot the head or whatever. But I like that it wasn't just you had to go for the head to get those extra points. But yeah, it was hard this time, but I got to give them credit. Again, just another Easter egg they throw in there. Another thing for the fans is when you get to the bonus time, and it's that music from when Leon's in the car at the start.
Oh, is that what it is? I didn't even realize.
Yeah, it's when it boots up and he's like sitting in the car.
Now I do.
Yeah,
now I do.
Go back and play it. And
the music in that section was phenomenal, right?
Yeah.
Like it really had you pumping, and you're like, oh yes, like I did it.
Yeah.
And then you get the little charms at the end. Like,
yeah,
I really thought that was cute.
I'm glad there is not a trophy tied to those charms, because the fact that they're random, I reckon I've got like 15 of them, maybe a little bit more, somewhere between 15 and 20. But like, how many are there? I don't know.
Yeah, well, I haven't looked it up, but like a lot of I was looking at some guide for something, and it's like, oh, use this charm, use that charm. I'm like, I've never even seen that one before, and I had like 3 or 4 of like the top level,
the epic ones. Yep.
The epic ones. But what I wasn't really sure of is, if you use a gold coin, you get a stronger chance to getting a better one. But like, should you use 3 gold coins or 1 gold coin and 2 silver coins? Like, I'm like, and that whole thing. Am I wasting things? Like,
that whole section is a little bit convoluted. I think I'd rather just use 3. Like, here's the epic ones. They cost 3 gold coins. Here's the rare ones. They cost 1 gold and 2 silver. And then here's the common ones. They cost 3 silver. So whatever. But I would like to get them all. But I'm not going to look up a list. There's no trophy for it. Thank God.
Well, there was one achievement for getting a perfect game. Which is not missing anything.
Have you done that yet?
And damn, that's stressful. Yeah, I did that.
Oh, good. You do it with the red?
I think I did it on the first one. Or maybe the one with the sniper, actually. I think I did the sniper.
Okay. That's good. Yeah, and I remember when I that video that I uploaded for 1C, because obviously I was
Yes.
I had the day off and I was one of the first ones to play it, and I was like, I'm doing this damn mission, and I'm like, where is this last skull? And I tried googling and YouTubing it everywhere, and I was like, I cannot find anyone who posted anything for this damn thing. And so when I found it, I'm like, I'm sharing this straight away, and then it ended up getting like, was it 2,000 views or something like that, maybe more.
Yeah. More than anything Nick versus Jeff is Nick
Ever
and
posted.
Jeff.
10 times more than what this video is going to get. But oh yes, what else is there? I'm trying to think. For me now, this is Resident Evil 4, and I want to go think back if there's any sections that I missed that I wish were in it, or there's other sections that I'm glad are gone. Like, I'm glad the minecart ride's still in it. I think it's even more fun than what it used to be.
I think like they didn't have to go this hard. Like, they could have left that out and no one would have really cared too much. But like that minecart section is like top notch.
Yeah, it's fun.
Right?
It's so fun. Except for the we're gonna go off the rails, lean. I don't care about the leaning. I'd rather just shoot things. But it feels like the 4 playthroughs that I've done, like especially when I was getting the don't get any damage. Being, the enemies are so far away and I've just got my little handgun and just being so precise with all my shots felt so satisfying. And I felt so pro doing those sections.
The difference between the first playthrough and the second playthrough, Nick, like, first one really cautious, felt really weak, really scraping by. That second playthrough, I'm like, damn, I am so powerful. Come on, enemies, like, come closer. I'm gonna shotgun you in the face, and I'm just gonna power through everything. Not fast. I didn't do it fast. I just felt like even more powerful. And now that I've done, 1/3 of a fast run on the easiest mode, like, it's just so incredible how much you can skip.
Yes.
Like, how much it's unnecessary to fight nearly every enemy, really.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, on easy, maybe it's a different story on hard mode, on harder difficulties, but like, it's crazy. Like, this 30-hour game that I played for 30 hours got down to 10 hours or 11 hours.
Yep.
And then now it's back down again to, well, it'll be less than 5 to get through the whole thing.
Yeah, and I think my playthrough was the same as yours. I can't remember, what was our first one, like 20 hours, 25 hours, or something like that?
Yeah, mine was a lot. And, how many hours was that stuck on the shooting gallery? Like,
yeah, true. Yeah, true. But yeah, then the second playthrough, I agree. Just run through, and because something about the second playthrough, like, I feel like I knew everything again, because I had, playing it the first time, I have all this old information which feels useless, but then after playing the game through once, all that old information then melded together with
back.
It melded together with all the new stuff. I'm like, oh, cool, I know where I am now, and it's just so good. And I think, so my second playthrough was probably about 10 hours, because I had to do a couple little missions and collect the treasures in the castle because I missed them. And then, my third and fourth playthrough, 6 hours. Under 6 hours, both of them. And so when I start doing my next one tomorrow, I'm so keen, because I know that one has to be quick.
I just thought of something that was missing.
What's that?
Well, there is a section where Leon gets trapped in a cage, right? But you don't have to fight any enemies. In the original, you're trapped in the cage with a Garrador. Garrador? The blind claw guy?
Oh, yes. Not in
there.
Yeah, I agree.
It's not bad. Those guys are stressful enough.
They are stressful.
Actually,
they are crazy, aren't they?
They are stressful, but then on, second playthrough, I'm like, I'm going to get this guy with a knife only. I can do it. Like, he's not going to hit me once.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. It's like, I end up being, I don't think I'm not as good as what I was in the original, but I think with the way this game is built, I don't know if I can be as good as what we used to be with the old game, and I think I'm okay with that. I'm okay with it being more challenging and more memorable, and just everything about it is just better. Like, if you're listening, if you've made it an hour into our podcast and you haven't played this game yet, go play it. Yeah,
this game is absolutely incredible. They've improved every way over the original RE4, and they made it even better. Totally modern, really awesome. Just incredible. Like, so happy we've had this experience again.
Yes.
Like, is there anything else like RE2 and RE3 remake? Like, I think RE3 remake's totally new.
Yeah.
Is RE2 like just modernized and upgraded, or is that totally new as well? Like, I think it is. Totally
I think it's totally new as well, but I think it just number 2 was known for being iconic and but like not in the same way number 4 was for us. Like, we played number 4 and a countless amount of times, whereas 2 and 3 were just kind of, they felt like new experiences for us. Whereas this is, you know what this is? This is one of those things where there's these experiences that I've had in my life that I'm like, that was amazing. Like the first time seeing Spider-Man No Way Home, I'm like, man, if I wish I could erase that movie erase everything from my memory completely and experience that again for the first time, just like ever. And that's what this game somehow recreated for me. It let me re-experience something that I absolutely love, that I know I'm going to love, in an entirely brand new, completely refreshing way, while still staying true to like what we know. And so just I can't give it any more praise. It's so good.
Nick, I think you've summed it up perfectly. What is next for Resident Evil remakes? What do you reckon? Code Veronica? Number 5? Like, they have a winning formula, right?
Yeah. Do the remake.
RE2, incredible. RE3, like, you know, pretty damn good. I think people said it was short, but like, I thought it was pretty awesome.
I had fun.
RE4, they've just taken it to the next level. They went well beyond what they had to do. Absolutely amazing. Like, what's going to be next?
Well, do you think we'll see Ada's secret mission as DLC?
Ooh. Considering the amount of microtransactions, I'm going to say yes.
Yeah, I think I do hope we see Ada's story in it as well as like as an extra.
I think we will have to pay.
Yeah, I think we'll have to pay, but I'm okay with that. I mean, they'll get our money. But we haven't actually talked about this yet because I mean, I guess I haven't done it, but I'm happy to sit here and listen to you talk for a couple of minutes about Mercenaries. You haven't?
Oh yeah. So
tell me about Mercenaries. What was your experience like? How long did it take you to go? How long did it take you to get all S ranks? Was it a whole day thing? Was it hard? Was it frustrating?
So there is 150 enemies per level, which I didn't realize at the start.
Oh.
And there's only three characters or four. 4 characters. Sorry, 4 characters, 3 levels. So it is less than the original.
Okay.
Which had I think 5 characters and 4 levels. You feel, because going from hardcore mode to regular mode, the enemies take standard amount of damage instead of hardcore levels of damage. You're like, oh wow, I'm powerful again, right?
Yeah,
I can slaughter all these enemies really good, just like I was playing the original Resident Evil 4.
Okay.
It's pretty awesome. And then I figured out like, oh wow, I can do this. I can get to S rank because it's like, you know, whatever the score is, like, you know what, I can do it. And Leon doesn't suck this time. Actually, he's actually pretty damn good.
I think you said it was.
And
Lewis
then,
that
like,
sucked,
you know, Lewis sucked because he's not very strong, right?
Was Lewis a character in the original? So in the original, it was Krauser,
Lewis,
Leon,
Ada, Krauser, Wesker. So you're missing Wesker and you're missing Ada in this version, which makes me think that's why there'll be DLC, because they'll have Ada's campaign, great, and then they'll add Wesker and Ada to the Mercenaries with 1 more level. That's my impression.
Yeah.
Anyway, and then so I got really good. Not really good, but like you'd be doing fine, and then you just get instantly killed, and you're just like, gotta do it again. Can't help yourself.
Well, so I have a couple questions.
Sometimes you get like stun locked into the animation cycle, and you're just like, you can't do anything about it. Anyway, I managed to get S+ or S with all characters, and to me, I was satisfied with that.
Yep.
And I'm like, sweet, S+ did so well. Unstoppable Force. Oh, there's S++.
Of course there is.
which I can only think of is killing all 150 enemies without the time limit ever lapsing once. Right. So I would get 100 combo quite frequently.
Yep.
Obviously, I never got the 150 combo,
Yep.
but you know,
So-
I don't feel the need to get it.
Right.
Like, to keep going. I'm content. I'm satisfied.
So I'll be honest, I'm a little bit scared and anxious with Mercenaries just because Resident Evil Village was one of the hardest things in gaming I've ever had to do in order to get that type of stuff.
It's not that. Resident Evil Village was a puzzle which you had to go the exact path every single time, right? To maximize or get the best score.
Yep.
This is not that, and I never felt that level. Like, it is difficult,
Yeah.
but I never felt that level of stress.
Okay.
Like the original Resident Evil 8 Village.
So
Mercenaries.
2 questions. Do they have do you have time extenders still?
Yeah, there's time extenders and there's
Bonus
bonus
Okay.
time or like special time or whatever, which is like
Right.
Krauser's arms, which is not instant kill anymore. Leon gets powered up, like he just, like, I don't know, just, Leon's guns go Super Saiyan essentially.
Right, yeah.
Hunk, what does Hunk do? Oh, he gets unlimited ammo for his
cool.
TMP,
Right.
which is, it actually is pretty cool. And Lewis gets dynamite.
Oh, cool. I think that's one thing that I don't like with Mercenaries is when I'm going to start a new level, I don't know where all the treasure chests are yet. I don't know where all the time extenders are, and so I waste a good 5-6 runs easy, like learning where all the time extenders are, and I'm like, I'm not looking forward to that tomorrow. It's
Yeah, I had fun,
Okay.
and because there's no trophy tied to it, there's no pressure tied to it as well.
well, we've got to get that hand cannon, right?
Well, I've got it, so
I don't have it yet.
You can do it.
Yeah.
I think you'll enjoy it. I don't think it's that difficult to do. What I wish, like, it does have scores, right? Online
Yep.
leaderboards or whatever. But I've never seen a video game where it's like, cool, you just finished that level. Oh, Nick's score is right here.
Mm-hmm.
Your score is this. Like, it always is like upload to the leaderboards, scroll to friends, like, and it always takes time. And I just feel like that's not incentivizing to keep going. Like, random people don't do it for me.
Yep.
And like, it's either too long to load to look at the score for friends, right?
Yep.
It needs to be instant.
Yep. I agree. I
And
couldn't
that would
agree
be like,
more.
oh, Nick got 10 more than me. Like, I will crush him.
Yeah.
That's what I wish it was. Maybe it is because you'll be playing it after I've played it.
Or even just knowing, like, not even necessarily like, oh, I've got to beat Jeffrey's score. It's more just like, you know, oh, sweet, yes, I got S+ rank. Good, that's what I need for the hand cannon. And I beat Jeffrey's score. Oh, yeah. Or like looking at it and be like, oh, damn it, Jeffrey beat my score. That's right, I got the S+. I don't need to keep going. Like, I got what I needed, but Jeffrey got a higher score. Damn it. So, yeah, I agree. That's always fun to... But it's never an easy thing. I agree. They make you jump through hoops for it.
We missed a character.
Who do we miss?
Totally missed the character.
Oh God, who do we
The
miss?
merchant.
Oh right, yeah, we did. Yeah,
His lines were delivered so well. Like,
yeah,
you know, his character is not explained in any way of why he's here, why he's popping up.
Yeah.
He's just there.
yeah,
And he delivers all these lines so good.
yeah. And it like I got the impression that he has a bunch of other ninjas running around on the island, you know, posting quests and everything. I'm like, but is it just the merchant the whole time? I don't know. But yeah, I agree. Great. I got no beef with the merchant. They did a great job with him. You liked him as well?
Oh, I loved it. And he has so many more lines this time. Like, a lot more than, I'll buy it at a high price. Like, they really go to town and, like, flesh out so many dialogue options. And I like the way he encourages you, like, doesn't matter if it's guns or rubies.
Yeah.
You know, if you're dead, you might as well just sell them to me, or whatever the line was.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, I know what you mean, yeah. I don't like that you can't shoot him anymore.
Oh, I didn't know that. I've never tried to shoot him.
Maybe you can. Maybe there's someone online who's like, oh, you can if you just do this. I don't know, but like when I went to do the no merchant, don't talk to the merchant run, I was like, well, I'll sort him out. I can't shoot him. I was like, I'll make sure I can't talk to him. Oh, I can't shoot him. That's annoying.
Oh, I'm just thinking of more things now, Nick. Coming back for a second win. The Leon's Attaché case. Did you felt kind of cheated by the auto sort?
Yes, I did. Yeah. Initially, I'm like, stuff the auto sort. I'm going to sort these things myself, and then eventually, I'm like, I don't have time for this. Sort. Yeah.
I love that it sorted the way I would have sorted it as well.
Okay, well, it's sorted pretty close for me, but not quite exactly the same. But we haven't really talked about Leon either. When we talked about characters, we didn't talk about Leon. We've only got 4 minutes left, so I think that's it. Leon's fine. He's good. He's great.
The voice actor did a great job.
Yep.
I feel like he did have a lot of cheesy lines. They're just a tone down a bit cheesy, but they're still good. They were still there. They were just different. They're just not the ones we can quote every day.
Yes, I agree. The old quotes still live in my head rent-free forever, clearly. And clearly you're the same. I think the new ones will still take some time getting used to. But now if I ever want a Resident Evil 4 fix, like going forward in time for the next 10, 15 years, this is going to be our Resident Evil 4, I think. I don't have any will to go back and play the original. Maybe if I'm on my Switch somewhere, because that's the only one I'll have, maybe I'll give that a go if I'm over on holiday somewhere. I'm like, I'll play some Resident Evil. But I'm good. This is my new Resident Evil 4. What about you?
I think after this third playthrough of going fast, I think I'll be done. I don't think I'll get the platinum because I just can't be bothered doing a professional run and a hardcore run. But maybe, I might change my mind. But I'm content and satisfied. You're right. I think I could go back to the original, but I'd be like, oh, well, you haven't got that platinum yet, Jeffrey. Why are you wasting time doing that when there's a platinum trophy to get? Like, there's still something to work towards.
Yeah, I agree. Oh, well. Do you want to take... You brought us in. Do you want to take us out?
We're Nick and Jeff. I'm Jeff. That's Nick, depending where Nick puts the video.
Woohoo!
We make spoiler casts about fun things we like watching or playing. Maybe next time might be Power Rangers.
Yes.
You can find us on youtube.com/Nick&Jeff, and I don't think anyone looks at us on Facebook anyway, but that's where we are. And all your favorite podcast platforms, because who wants to watch two idiots when you can listen to two idiots instead while you're driving?
Yes.
Or working out.
Yeah, or working out.
We're entertaining. We love us.
we love us. Hopefully you love us too, because we love you and we love when you listen. So thanks for listening.
And if you love us, give us a thumbs up, and we'll see you next time.
See you later. Bye.
Bye.
You really are the best.